Berger, Hanni, tell us, when you first heard about it, why the heck did you say yes, and what makes you excited to participate?
I think, how can you not? I just met Thomas for the first time, and just look at his energy. And I'm excited about the caliber of speakers and the energy of speakers that you have brought together for this one day. I am just thrilled for myself already to learn so much, but obviously, and something that Thomas mentioned as well, we all are passionate about a message. And so I would love, and I'm so excited about being able to share what I've learned.
Hi everyone. What is it that you want to be known for? Do you want to be the person who elevates your company or your department to the next level of success? Or do you want to be the leader whose team follows you regardless in which direction you go? Or for being the parent whose 16-year-old daughter comes to you with all of her problems? Or your unshakable faith in God, regardless of the circumstances in your life? Even if you haven't thought about it, we all want to be known for something. I mean, for most of us, honestly, it's more than one thing, and some things are quite silly, right? I always get parking right in front of the restaurant. Oh yeah, princess parking. And we heard it all day already. You know, there's so many wonderful things for all of us to be known for. But in order for us to succeed, we have to feel confident. Confident in our ability to be that person. Now, you may wake up every morning and you tell yourself, I can do this, I can do this. But probably a little bit more effective would be to learn from mentors, to listen to podcasts or read books. You want to learn from the best. But no matter how much you prepare, by the time you finally approach this difficult situation, or you find yourself in the midst of it, there is this little but very powerful voice in your head that is telling you of all of the reasons of how you are going to fall short. For example, you could be part of a team and you're about to share this amazing idea with the group, and no, the voice in your head is telling you, it's not that good of an idea, don't do it. The voice in your head wants you to feel fear. And yes, roll with me, I love dogs, okay? If you're a leader, you have had to make some really tough decisions this last year. You may have to let people go and overburden those who remain. The voice in your head wants you to feel guilty. Or if your son slaps the door to your face and tells you, Mom, I hate you, because he told him he can't go to the party that puts him at risk of getting COVID. The voice in your head wants you maybe to be sad or angry. Sad because my son hates me. Or angry because how dare he speak to me that way? I could go on and on and on, but have you noticed that for the most part this voice wants to either hold you back or bring you down? It wants you to feel sad because, well, somebody ignored you. The voice in your head wants for you to feel envy because people around you seem to be getting ahead in life faster than you do. Or it wants you to feel ashamed because you drank a little bit too much at your friend's dinner party the other day. What is that voice? Why do we have non-stop this chatter in our head that is telling us that we aren't good enough, fast enough, pretty enough, smart enough? Or that they are stupid. And they don't like me. And they over there, they are rude. And they over there, they don't understand. Allow me to introduce you to your ego, the voice in your head. You may want to believe that it's your external world the people and the circumstances in your life that are causing for you to feel bad. That it's your to-do list, your demanding boss, or your lazy employee, your spouse, your kids, and the traffic that you sit in. You're putting yourself into a victim mode, claiming that the rest of the world is at fault for your negative emotion. Well, I have some bad news and some really good news too. They are not. That's bad news because you no longer can blame the rest of the world for your foul mood. But it's also really good news because it means that you can do something about it yourself. I'd say let's do an exercise together. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. I'm going to give you a very specific scenario, and I'm going to ask you to really imagine that you are that person in that scenario. Okay, really experience it as it would be happening to you. And then when you heard everything, just allow your mind to go nuts. It will all make sense in a moment, all right? So if you feel comfortable, please go ahead and close your eyes. Imagine it is Friday afternoon and you're driving in your convertible. Yes, right now you do have one, congratulations. You're driving in your convertible to the mountains. You're leaving town. Traffic is busy, but you know what? You don't care. You have been planning this long weekend getaway for so long. Your partner is sitting right next to you. You have your favorite tunes on the stereo. You're happy. When out of nowhere, a car from the right jumps right in front of you, so much so that you have to hit the brakes to not hit the car. Your heart is racing. What is going on in your mind? All right, go ahead and open your eyes again. I suspect you got mad. I even ventured to say that you may have used a couple of not so pretty words in your outburst of anger towards the person in front of you. Okay. Let's do this again with a different scenario. But this time, I'm going to ask you to observe the voice in your head. Don't be the voice, but rather just imagine that you grab this imaginary chair in your mind and you witness what this voice is saying. It's almost like sound coming out of the radio. Okay? So again, if you feel comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes. Imagine that you're in the grocery store checkout line. You are the third person, which by current standards of social distancing puts you quite in the middle of the store, but that's okay. You look behind you, and there are two more people there watching the lady at checkout. Really, is she pulling out a checkbook? Who these days is still using a checkbook? When you hear a voice that says, I can help the next person right over here, you look up, and there is a woman opening up the register right next door. You're about to make the first step when the two people behind you race past you and are already there. You're still the last in line. Please, grab your imaginary chair and observe the voice in your head. Okay, go ahead and open them back up. I suspect that most of you were able to distinguish the difference between being the voice and identifying with the voice, which is, by the way, what you do all day, every day, or observing the voice, witnessing what this voice is saying. Which brings up an important question. Who are you? Are you the non-stop chatter in your head, or are you the observer? You cannot be both. And here's the answer. Your conscious mind, is the observer. The non-stop chatter in your head is a subconscious program that goes on and on and on until you start finally paying attention to it. All right, lots of words here, conscious, subconscious. Let's break this down. So your conscious mind is defined by your thoughts and your actions that are within your awareness. Your subconscious mind is defined by your reactions and your automatic actions that are based on programmed beliefs and values. Okay, so when I say the non-stop chatter in your mind is based on a subconscious program, what exactly do I mean? Get this, it's so cool. Research from really smart people has proven that our minds are programmed in the first 6 to 7 years of our lives. By watching our parents, or really any other person of authority, it could be a teacher, it could be a coach, we learn what a relationship looks like. We learn what it's worth worrying about, or getting anxious about, or sad about. By watching our mom, we learn what the role of a woman is. And by watching our dad, the role of a man. We learn about all of our values. We learn who we're meant to view as superior and inferior. Our minds literally get hardwired. If you're a parent, you may have noticed that the first thing your child does anytime something happens is they look at you. Without even realizing it, they're actually analyzing your facial expressions. If they trip and fall and you're like, oh my God, and you're all worried about it, well, then they know this is something to worry about. Allow me to compare a newborn baby to a computer for a moment. So a newborn baby has the equivalent of an operating system. It has a brain, it has neurocircuitry, it's all there, but it has no programs installed yet. No beliefs, no values. It starts in the 3rd trimester of pregnancy, where the pregnant mom is going to pass on her emotions and her beliefs onto the baby. A child in the first 6 to 7 years of their lives are in a brainwave frequency referred to as theta. It's the same brain frequency that you and I experience when we're about to fall asleep or when we wake up in the morning. It's also the same brainwave when somebody is under hypnosis. Everything that a child sees in his first 6 to 7 years gets downloaded into their subconscious without questioning it. Their interpretation of any situation becomes their reality. And now here's the kicker. Research has proven that today, in our adult life, we react based on that subconscious programming 95% of the time. We are running on autopilot, getting anxious and sad and worry about things based on the program that we received when we were a kid. And in my mind, what's really actually the craziest thing is that we believe that every thought that we have is the truth. If you're pursuing a spiritual path, you may have heard about the need to elevate human consciousness. And that's exactly what we're talking about here right now. The need for all of us to wake up, for us to start paying attention to our thoughts and our emotions, and to start questioning them and changing them if they don't align with who it is that we want to be. Now, for a moment, put yourself back into a child's mind. Be a 4, 5, or 6-year-old, okay? Back in school, when the teacher asked you a question and, sorry, you didn't have the answer, but Susie did. You saw how Susie got celebrated and you were ignored. From a child's point of view, you saw that you have to know things or be the best at something in order for you to be loved and be seen as worthy. And today, without even realizing it, you still strive to succeed for the exact same reasons. Subconsciously, you just want to be loved and feel worthy. Or when your mom or dad said to you, you got to finish your homework first before you go out and play, you obeyed. Today, subconsciously, you still operate under the same program. You cannot sit down and relax until all of your work is done. Problem is, our work is never done now. I mean, it's the most random, simple things in life that trigger us. It could be your husband taking the last cup of coffee from the pot, or your wife leaving just one sheet of toilet paper roll on the toilet paper. A personal example. So 3 months ago, I went to the dentist, and so the dentist said to me, unless I start brushing my teeth a lot better and using mouthwash, they will need to do some more invasive work. I had some buildup. So you can imagine, I'm going home. For 3 months, a week ago, I'm about to go back, and I look in the mirror, I'm like, oh, it's looking actually pretty good. I was really quite proud of myself, and I was ready to get praise from my dentist. I go in, she looks at my mouth, and she's like, you didn't do well enough. Excuse me? All right, first of all, she may have not quite used these words, but really, that's what I heard. I was about to get really furious when I realized, hold on, negative emotion, what's happening here? And I realized my inner 4-year-old was just told that she didn't do well enough. And for a child, that is crushing. From a child's point of view, being loved and feeling worthy is a matter of survival. And even though we're so much more mature and level-headed and wiser today, this deeply rooted subconscious programming still triggers us today to react with anger and sadness and anxiety and a slew of other negative emotions. There are ways for you to override these old programs, and unfortunately we won't get to them today, but I've given you the most important, the most crucial step in order for you to experience a life of more peace and joy. And it's this. Become the observer of your thoughts. Anytime you experience any negative emotion, please stop. Your ego wants you to wallow in that emotion. But you really have a choice to detach from the program that is causing you so much pain. So I invite us all to wake up and to start becoming conscious human beings. Thank you very much.
I'm lit up back there watching you, mainly because of what you say, but not only how you show up. You are an example of jovial. And I want to just ask you a couple questions, if you don't mind, Hanni, is what are a couple things that your clients really receive from you as gifts from the services you provide? I mean, I can't imagine, but give us a couple examples.
Well, so JOYVIAL actually is a network of health coaches, but so what most of our clients really come for is to determine their own vision. So we don't necessarily set what it is that you want to do, and so what we give them is a very, very clear direction based on what their goal is, and we help them along the path of reaching that goal. And that could be anything from stress management, family. We work with a lot of corporate executives, and so that is really first and foremost what they're dealing with. Yeah. But it could be anywhere from diet and other things as well, and mindset. I have 2 coaches that focus on the topic that we are talking about today. Right.
I believe you and Doug McGee should get together and join forces on serving other organizations, because with his stop lying and figuring out what it is you want to do, and you helping them be who they say they want to be, who knows what that would look like.
I'd love that, yes, for sure.
I think there's going to be a lot of synergies after this day. Again,
I look forward.
Hanni Berger, thank you very much.
Thank you so very much.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, thank you. I loved today, but I think what's so important about this today, besides my excitement, is the theme and the direction that all of us are heading. If you haven't noticed, as a leader, there is a distinct shift happening towards a individual-centric, an employee-centric environment where we really pay attention of all levels of the organization, where we bring love into the company. And yeah, you know what? If you're the analytical type person and a little bit of old school, that might feel hard. But it's okay. Take the shift. It just takes one step. You don't have to go from 0 to 100 in no time. Just open up your heart, follow your intuition, and take one step at a time. Thank you so much.